Here's how to see your channel performance across your PMax campaigns and what to actually do with that data to improve your campaigns. What we're going to do is go select a PMax of our choice and then go into the insights and reports and channel performance. If you don't see this, it's getting rolled out across different accounts, so you might have to be patient. But for now, I'm opening one for a service business and we'll open another for a e-commerce store that sells products. Now, the biggest difference between these two is really you've got this drop-down menu here for all ads versus ads using video. And the difference between service businesses and the e-commerce store is that you've got this extra feature using product data, right? So it gives you extra options to look through the data. Now, what I like to do is I quickly get a temp gauge or temp check on, the timeline. I might go in the last 90 days and then hit apply. And then what I want to do is just see quickly out of all the interactions here, we've got the impressions and then results. So since it is a service business, all I do care about is conversions. So we switch to conversion. I see that we've had that many interactions and this many conversions, none from YouTube. So we can see YouTube down here and I've had 0. So if I want to break down of per channel quickly, I'll just click on cost. And then I can see a divide on cost platform. So I've got share of cost is up to 5% for display. And then Gmail's not firing. Maps is going and I'm getting a share of cost there as well. And then majority of my cost is going into the search campaign, right? So this has already given me ideas. Maybe I want to test just different search campaigns instead of running a PMax and try my luck, right? But since PMax just operates on a multi-bidding strategy, and I'll explain more about that in a separate video, then it's still a good idea to run PMax on the side anyway, because it's still going to save you money long term, and in some cases like about 50-50 chance, right? With that data, you can just filter through all this stuff, right? It's up to you. I'm not going to bore you with all of this. So what you want to do is scroll to the bottom and you've got this little table. Now, what I normally do with the table is I'll filter the columns, go custom, and then I will normally want to see these. So I turn everything else off, like get rid of everything else. And all I want to see is clicks, conversions, conversion value, cost per conversion, the ROAS, which is conversion value divided by cost, and then reports, because the reports are going to show you which reports you need to look at in terms of action items, right? So we'll go back over to here, scroll down to the bottom, and we might see, well, okay, we're getting a lot of good traction from the search campaign. So we might want to even make this even better for ourselves, go over to the view search terms report, and we might want to consider adding more, negative keywords. So we start setting negative keywords and click add negative keyword and filtering through this even more and having a bit of a notepad with us to document any account level negative keywords as we're going along, just so that you're tackling 2 birds, 1 stone. So that's one way of improving your campaign. The other way, as you might have noticed, is the YouTube campaign isn't really generating us any money, right? Over 90 days. So what's that tell me? Well, maybe I want to run a Performance Max campaign that has no video assets whatsoever. I totally ignore video assets. I don't put any in there and I just let the rest of the channels do their thing and then go from there, right? I might want to, I don't recommend this, but you could theoretically remove your Google business profile so that you're not showing up on maps. That is one option. So you're not showing up there, but I probably wouldn't recommend it because it's going to affect your other ads that are using or rely on Google business profile. So we've got the display. You've got no options around that unless you remove all your images, but the Performance Max will still take assets from your website regardless. So it's kind of defeating the purpose there and going against the grain. But that's some of the things you can do. Now, there's not a lot of differences for the actual channel performance in an e-commerce store. You might want to filter through those, what I said before. So we just exit these, scroll to the top, go clicks, and then we don't do results. I don't usually like it. And then these, and then click apply, and then have a look at this data. So we're making some money from YouTube. Not a lot though, only 1 conversion. Is that 90 days? It must be a fresh campaign, I think. Okay, so that's why it's like low on data. But we made around 6.2K on search. So I might want to explore the search terms and see which is making the most amount of money. And then from those conversions, so I might filter through here, like how much am I making the most of? I don't have the conversion value or the ROAS, so I might have to filter that in columns. But the idea is that you might want to break these down into your own individual search campaigns so that you're squeezing your profit and not just relying on a PMax to like throw lots of different things at the wall to see what sticks, because that's essentially what it does sometimes. It does throw a lot of stuff at the wall to see what sticks. But yeah, there's not, unfortunately, not to this date, you can't do a lot with channel performance. You can't just switch off these separate channels. But the other thing you can do, knowing the placements, is click on the placement report and see, wow, okay, well, I'm entering into all this crap that I shouldn't even be entering into. I might want to go over to my content suitability section over in the tools, content suitability, and I might want to exclude all of those apps that we have or keywords, or where are we? So if we go into the themes, we might want to exclude themes, placements, we might want to exclude certain placements, we might want to exclude separate websites so that we're not entering into a lot of different things in our display campaigns and also our YouTube campaigns. So that's everything at the moment for Performance Max channel performance, and I'll likely update this video anyway when I've got more data and they release more features. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, leave them below. I'm more than happy to answer, and I'll see you in the next video.